Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. I stood outside my own house, clutching the invitation that had my name embossed in gold foil, Anniversary Celebration of Emily and Daniel. It gleamed mockingly under the porch light, the same light I had chosen 2 years ago when Daniel and I moved in together. The laughter inside was muffled but unmistakable. My mother-in-law's voice rose above the hum, clear and commanding, the way it always did when she wanted control. Except this time, she had it completely. I wasn't invited to my own anniversary party. The message had come that morning in the form of a polite text from her. Emily, dear, it would be better if you didn't come tonight. Daniel needs space, and this celebration is for appearances. Don't make things awkward. At first, I thought it was a joke. Then Daniel never replied to my call. Not once. Now, as I stood outside listening to the faint music and clinking of glasses, a hollow feeling expanded inside my chest. The sound of my own heartbeat filled the silence between bursts of laughter. Through the window, I saw her, Margaret, my mother-in-law, standing beside Daniel. Her hand rested on his shoulder with a possessive tenderness that made me feel sick. And next to him stood a woman I didn't recognize. Young, elegant, radiant. She wore the emerald necklace I had given Daniel to gift me last year. My breath caught. She lifted her glass toward Daniel. To new beginnings, she said, her voice like silk. Daniel smiled. To new beginnings. The room erupted in polite applause. I stumbled back from the window, my throat tightening. The winter air bit into my skin as tears blurred my vision. I had been replaced. And everyone inside knew it. Earlier that week, Margaret had come over under the pretense of helping me plan the party. She'd walked through the house like she owned it, rearranging flowers, judging everything I did. You've really let things go, haven't you, Emily? She had said, brushing her fingers over the dusty mantle. A home reflects the state of a marriage. I'd ignored the sting. Daniel's been busy. I've been trying to handle most things myself. Her smile was thin. A woman should never try to handle too much. It makes her seem desperate. I'd bitten my tongue. Margaret had never hidden her dislike for me. I wasn't from the kind of family she wanted Daniel to marry into. She called me ordinary, said I didn't understand how to manage a man like him. But Daniel used to defend me. Used to. Now, standing outside that glowing house, I heard the faint echo of Margaret's laughter and felt an icy rage settle over me. I wasn't desperate. I was done being silent. I pushed the door open. The music faltered as conversations stopped. Every head turned toward me. Emily. Daniel's face drained of color. What are you doing here? I smiled, though my hands were trembling. I came to celebrate my anniversary. A low murmur rippled through the room. Margaret stepped forward, her expression tight. This isn't the time, dear. We agreed. No, you decided. I cut her off. My voice rose, trembling but strong. You decided I shouldn't come to my own anniversary party. You decided Daniel needed someone else to parade around tonight. So tell me, who is she? The young woman shifted uncomfortably, her smile fading. Daniel looked at her, then at me, the muscles in his jaw tightening. Emily, let's talk outside. No. Let's talk here. I turned to the woman. Do you even know who I am? She hesitated. I was told you weren't in the picture anymore. Margaret interjected smoothly. It's complicated, dear. Emily and Daniel have been drifting apart. Drifting? I laughed bitterly. Funny, because the last time I checked, we still shared a bed. Gasps filled the room. Daniel grabbed my arm. Stop it, Emily. I yanked it free. You stop lying to me. He froze. For a moment, I saw something flicker behind his eyes. Guilt, maybe even shame, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared. You're making a scene, he muttered. I looked around the room at the guests, friends, co-workers, people who had smiled at me for years. Now they avoided my gaze, pretending to sip their drinks, pretending not to see a marriage falling apart in front of them. Maybe I am, I said quietly. But at least I'm not pretending anymore. The room blurred as I turned toward the door. I needed air. I needed to breathe. Outside, the cold wrapped around me again, sharp and real. My phone buzzed in my pocket. One new message from an unknown number. I didn't know she'd tell you. I'm sorry. She made it sound like you were gone. Lena. Lena. The woman inside. I sank onto the front steps, my hands shaking. So she wasn't malicious. Just manipulated. And the puppet master had been standing beside Daniel the entire time. Margaret had orchestrated this. She had pushed and poisoned and persuaded, just as she always did. But this time, she'd succeeded. I sat there for a long time, staring at the stars that blurred with tears. I remembered the vows Daniel had whispered to me on our wedding night, the promises of forever, the plans we made for a future that would now never exist. Then the front door opened behind me. Daniel stepped out, his face pale. "Emily," he began, but I raised a hand. "Don't," I said softly. "You already made your choice." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It wasn't supposed to be like this." "No, it never is." He looked at me, eyes weary. "You don't understand how much pressure she put on me. She said you were unstable, that you'd been talking about leaving me." I laughed quietly. "So you believed her instead of asking me?" He didn't answer. That silence told me everything I needed to know. I stood, brushing snow from my coat. "You let her destroy us, Daniel. And now you'll live with that." I started walking toward my car. "Emily, wait." I paused but didn't turn around. He hesitated. "Do you hate me?" I thought about it. "No," I said finally. "Hate would mean I still care." I got in the car, the music from the house fading behind me. As I drove away, I caught one last glimpse of them through the windshield. Margaret, smiling triumphantly beside her son, her arm around him like she'd won something. But she hadn't. Because in that moment, as I left it all behind, I realized something she never would. Control isn't power. Letting go is. And I was finally free.